Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I've got an unboxing for you. Now for those of you that saw my video that I uploaded a few days ago, I went onto eBay and it was kind of an experiment because a lot of people say that eBay is not a great place to buy precious metals from, and I also preach that as well because I've had a few experiences where, not personally, but where I've spoken to people and they've been ripped off. Now, I haven't been burnt on eBay because I've been using eBay for many, many years. I used to sell on eBay fairly regularly, so I got used to how to research buyers and sellers and just kind of get your head around the whole feedback system. Now, it does take a little while before you can be sure when you're buying precious metals from eBay, and that is why I quite often say to people to steer clear of it, because unless you're willing to put the research into the seller, it is, in my opinion, quite a risky place to be buying your precious metals from, especially if you're just starting out and you don't really know what you're looking for and what the kind of right price for the items are and things like that, because you quite often get the people that have just started stacking, they go onto eBay, they find some really good deals in terms of prices, they buy them, and then it turns out that it's not the real deal, or even worse, you don't get it checked, or you don't know how to check if it's the real deal, and you put it into your long-term stack, and then 10, 20, 30 years, whatever it may be later when you come to sell, that's when you find out that it's not real. Now, I've seen videos here on YouTube where people have held precious metals for 20 plus years and they've gone to cash them in as part of their retirement, and they found out that they've got some large sort of 10-ounce bars in there, some 1 kilogram bars of silver, and they're all fake. So you do have to be really, really careful. And that is why I quite often say to people, do steer clear of buying stuff on eBay. When it comes to precious metals, I would always say to go to a reputable online bullion dealer, because although you pay that slight premium, you guarantee you're getting the real deal. So anyway, I did this as part of kind of an experiment to see if I could buy some precious metals without doing too much research into the seller, and just to kind of see how they turned out. So I went onto eBay, I filtered by auction only, I filtered by ending soonest, and this is one of the items that we won. Now, this is the one that was counting down. I think it had like 50 seconds or something left. So I just quickly whacked in a bid. I didn't exactly get a particularly good deal or anything like that. It was more kind of just buying without looking too much at the seller's feedback, just to see what I got. Now, I think the coin that's going to be in here is going to be a 2013 silver Britannia. I won it at auction for £27 and it cost me £2.65 for delivery, so £29.65 in total. So not a particularly good deal on it in terms of the weight value for the precious metal, but it's 2013, so it's kind of a collectible Britannia, if you like. It's more of an older year one, so that's sometimes attaches a bit of a premium anyway. But let's get straight into the video. I've got my blunt knife here. I'm going to take it off the camera just while I cut down the seal, because my dress is on the other side. Right, so I've cut down the line, so I'm going to open it upside down just so I don't have to worry about my dress. Nice packaging. Where's the coin? Where's the coin? Oh, they've actually stuck it onto the inside of the box, which is nice. Means it doesn't rattle around. There we go. Put that to one side. Get rid of the newspaper. Get rid of that. Right, so first of all, really nicely packaged. This was actually secured on the inside of the box, so it wasn't going to rattle around or anything. And you can see it's basically sellotape around a Loctite bag. So definitely can't complain about the way it's been sent. But this was the coin that didn't look legit to me in the pictures. It looked like the Queen's head was lacking quite a lot of detail. It just didn't look right for some reason, and a few of you in the comments agreed. They said it didn't look quite right. It might have just been kind of because it was in the capsule. Let's get it straight out of the capsule so we can have a closer look. Now, I will say, considering the year, it's very, very shiny. It does look very, very nice. Now, it's very hard for me to straight away look at that coin and say whether it looks legit or not, because I haven't got any of these older Britannias in the stack. The only Britannias I have are the Britannias that have the kind of more security features. They've got the waves behind the back. They've got a lot more going on. Whereas these older ones, it does actually look really, really nice. I quite like how it's just like a mirror effect instead of like the waves. And obviously it hasn't got the trident and the lock down here. It's lacking a lot of the security features that obviously the newer ones have now. Now I wanted to do this video without kind of having scales or anything like that, just to show you the ways that you can check precious metals without the scales and Sigma machines and all the other expensive equipment that you can get. Now in terms of weight, it does feel very, very similar. So that's a plus side straight away. Now let's just get a little bit closer. Let's lock the focus here. Now you can see that it's got quite a lot of detail on it. It's got some toning around the top here. It's hard to see that on the camera, but it's got toning around the top. Now the Queen's head has a lot more detail now I've got it in person, and I think it was just because it was in a capsule, and also because it hasn't got the kind of the micro dots in the background. It doesn't pop as much as the newer Britannia. You see this one, it pops quite a lot. The Queen's head pops quite a lot because you've got the micro dots as the background, whereas this one doesn't, because it's just a mirror effect. But now I can see it in person. It has got a lot more detail. You can see the mouth, you can see the nose, you can see all the hair before in the picture, and I will probably attach a picture here for you so you can compare the picture. It just didn't look like it had that much detail at all. So yeah, really pleased with how the coin actually looks. Now a couple of tests you can do. The first one you can do is you can balance it on the tip of your finger, and you can use another coin and you can tap it. You can see it rings very, very nicely. Really, really nice. There's actually an app you can get where you can ring it, and you can tell that the app kind of picks up the sound and it tells you if it's legit or not. But from my experience, that does sound legit. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Now another test you can do is with a magnet. Now you can get the coin, and you can get just one of these small magnets, and if you put the magnet on the coin, it should slide down slowly. So there should be some resistance to make it slide down slowly. It shouldn't fully stick on, so you don't want it just to kind of get stuck on the coin, and at the same time you don't want it to shoot down the coin really, really fast. So this is obviously the genuine silver one I'm trying here to show you how it looks. You can see it kind of just slides down slowly, a little bit of resistance, but it's not getting completely stuck. Now let's try this coin, moment of truth. Let's see if it sticks or if it slides. Now that does slide quicker, but I think that is due to the more detail on the newer coin. Like I said, you've got a lot more detail in here, so I think that adds to how it slides down. Let's try again on this side. Yeah, that's definitely got some resistance. So without, yeah, you see that? I would say it does go down slightly quicker, but I think that's because this has got more surface area. It's got a lot more detail and a lot more things, kind of friction, whereas this is a lot more plain, isn't it, if that makes sense? But yeah, you can definitely see it's not sticking on there, it's not shooting straight down. There is some resistance. So I would be very happy to say this is a legit coin without actually getting the scales out and weighing it, and without actually putting it on a Sigma machine. I would say this is a legit coin. So I think this is a legit piece of silver. I will do further checks off camera to confirm before I put it into the long-term stack. But yeah, very happy that that is a genuine silver coin. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Would you insist on doing more checks before you added a coin into your long-term stack? Or would you be satisfied with the checks I've just done on camera for you today? So yeah, I would say that's a successful eBay purchase. Put it on a stand, and we'll probably keep this in the YouTube stack, because it's nice to kind of sometimes buy things to show people that not all sellers are bad, because there's a lot of people, and like I said, I'm one of those people that preach don't buy precious metals on eBay, but that is mainly for the newer stacker. That's mainly for the less experienced stacker, the person that hasn't really bought much on eBay or hasn't bought any precious metals on eBay, and you don't really know what you're looking for. And to kind of summarize what to look for when buying on eBay, these are just my obviously criteria. It's up to you what your own criteria is, but for me, my normal criteria when buying precious metals on eBay would be that the seller has to have a minimum of 5,000 feedbacks. So you can see that they're regularly selling things, so they're less likely to risk their reputation of selling something that's fake if they've got that amount of feedback. If someone's only got, say, 20 or 30 feedback, they're more likely to risk their reputation by selling a few items here and there that aren't legit. So that's the first criteria I look for, minimum 5,000 feedback. I aim for 100% positive as well. Now, I know that's not always possible, and you do have people here and there that are unhappy about the speed of the item when it's been sent out and things like that, and the packaging and the way it's arrived. So I do kind of give or take, and I do look at the negative feedbacks. If they've, say, got 5,000 feedbacks and they've only got 2 negatives, and I look at those negative comments and they're saying, oh, the sender didn't send this as quick as they said it was going to be sent, or something like that, and it's kind of not related to the actual content of the precious metal in the coin, then I will still go ahead and buy. Now, the third criteria, and this is a very, very important one in my opinion when you're buying from eBay, I always look at their other sales. So I always look at what else they're selling in their shop, and I make sure that the seller is specializing in precious metals. I wouldn't go onto eBay and buy an item of gold or silver from someone that only has maybe 1 or 2 items of gold or silver on their whole entire shop, and they're mainly selling clothes or trainers or dog food or whatever it may be. For me, it has to be someone that specializes in precious metals, someone that knows what they're talking about, someone that is regularly selling coins and bullion, so they're not going to be caught out by selling a piece that's not legit. If you find someone that's just selling bits and pieces here and there, like clothes and kind of miscellaneous items, then it's very easy for them to not necessarily do it on purpose, but they might have been handed a coin that's not legit, or they might have been passed it down, or whatever it may be. They might have come across this without actually going out to source it and doing all the checks first. So yeah, they're the kind of 3 main criteria: minimum 5,000 feedback, make sure they haven't got loads of negative feedback, and also make sure that they specialize in selling precious metals, because then you know that someone knows what they're talking about. They're going to be selling the real deal. They're not going to be risking their huge reputation by selling 1 or 2 items that aren't legit. So let me know your thoughts. Let me also know your criteria when you're buying on these online auction sites. What is your personal criteria, or do you just kind of mainly focus on price and hope that it's going to be legit? For me personally, it's a lot of hassle to do that way, to go try and get your money back and all the rest of it. Although PayPal tends to be fairly good, it's just a lot more hassle trying to send the coin back, trying to reclaim your money back. I'd rather just make sure the coin was legit before I spent the money in the first place. So yeah, I hope you found that interesting. I hope you found some of that information useful. We've got another couple of items as well that I won on eBay that should be arriving in the next couple of days. I'm interested to see if they're legit or not. Before we go, I wanted to say thank you very much to the people that have recently brought me some whiskey. Now, in my description there is a link where you can buy me a whiskey. Do not feel obliged obviously to buy me a whiskey, but I wanted to shout out the people that have. Terry Pitt has brought me 1 in the past, then he brought me another 5, so I actually brought a whole bottle. Future Investments brought me 2 for my birthday. Creative Precious Metals has recently brought me 1 to celebrate me hitting 7,000 subscribers, and Team SHTF has brought me 7. So huge thank you to all of you, especially Team SHTF, because you have basically brought me my next bottle of whiskey. And for those of you that have seen my community post, I've already posted the one I've gone for. I've gone for a more premium JD whiskey to try. Thank you very much, like I said, to every single one of you on this list. Really appreciate it. Once the bottle of whiskey arrives, I'll unbox that and I'll taste it on the channel as well. So as always, thanks for all the support, and I hope you have a very nice day.